Okay, so if you right click on the website, when I say the website, I'm referring to this. And then when you right click, you see add, and then you see add new item. Click on add new item, or you can use the shortcut there if you wish. But if you click on add new item, you are going to see all manner of pages or forms that you can add to the site. If you scroll down, there are a lot of them, and there are so many other things that were not even included here, which you have to search for to see. But they are all virtually all here. So you go to web form. Web form should be about 1, 2, 3. The fourth thing there. It's the first one you are seeing. Yeah. Okay, web form. Okay, here it's about the fourth. So click on web form. It's going to give you the name default.asps. Leave it that way, except you want to give it a different name. But I told you, just click once on it. Don't worry, just click on once on this. I'm talking about this now. Yes. It's going to show you default.asps down here. And then what you should do is leave everything the way it is and click on add. Add is at the bottom right of that. Click on add, allow it to load up, and it will add. Now, if you notice, it did some stuff for us. It gave us the document type, HTML, header, title, and a whole lot. So we are not starting. It pre-formatted it for us in a way. Visual Studio always loves to help. If it was Dreamweaver, you have to type all these things by yourself. Okay, so we are here now. You've copied the code I asked that you copy. Now you are going to copy from. You won't copy from doc type. Copy from header to paragraph close.
For that?
Yes, go back to that PDF. Copy from header to paragraph close. Why are we copying from header to paragraph close? If you look at this site, you see that we already have body existing.
Yeah.
On that default.
Yeah.
We already have body existing. We have form existing, and we have a div existing.
Yeah.
So what we are going to do is to get what we need, since we are not typing afresh. So in between the div tag, where I am now, in between the div tag, this is in this space here, is in between the div tag. Click in between the div tag and paste Control V what you have copied.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know if your own pasted in a straight line.
Yeah, it's split it.
It split it for you. Okay, mine did a straight line. So if you're using Visual Studio 15, you can select it, right click, and say format section. Once you click on format section, it gives you this. Don't worry, you'll see it in the video. I'll give you the video of class after this. So you have this. Now we would want to see save all. So now you are looking at this. It says header H2, importance of the header elements. So you will see now when you're looking at it from here, the text looks very much the same, and you can't really tell which is the head and but then paragraph, which states the contents, is telling you the header element tells crawler about the content inside it. So the header is what the crawler feeds on, and then finds things that are related to the search term or the search query that a user imputes into Google.
As you mean the header?
The header.
Okay, but sir, what about the head?
The H there,
The head.
head. Okay, the head you are seeing.
Yeah.
The head is like the brain of the brain of the text. I like calling it the brain. You know, you have the head, but your head, your body, and your leg.
Yeah.
So that's the structure they use here. The head, which most of the time you don't see the content of the head, so it's like the brain. Now, when you understand the difference between head and header.
Yeah. I understand.
You understand the difference. You understand when we start using it. You understand why there is the head and why I call it the brain. Because when I want to reference my CSS in this place, I will not reference it in the body. I will reference it in the head, and you won't see it when you open the browser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and of course, you can give it a title. Click in between the title and call it and type test site for HTML5 and CSS3. Then you click on save all again. Of course, if you want us to edit anything in the paragraph, we can.
It's not as a HTML5 and CSS3.
Yes. Test site for HTML5 and CSS3. So after the last p tag,
Symbol.
yes, symbol. After the last p tag here, we can choose to add another p tag. One thing about Visual Studio is that once you add once you add an HTML element, when you are closing it, will close it for you.
Yeah.
So it's not as though you forgot. And then you can type in between those p tags and say this is not part of the doc copied. We just want to see how it will look like adding other text. I hope you type fast. Just type anything.
This is not the source copy.
This is not the. Don't worry. This is not this. This. Just want to see how. You just want to see how it will look like typing in other text. So if you do that, click on save, go to Solution Explorer. You will see that the form you added is there, defaults.axps.
Yeah.
Now right click on defaults.axps and say view in browser or Ctrl+Shift+W.
Okay, view in browser.
Which it will highlight the name of the browser for you. I don't know if you did that, but I think we set Chrome to be the default browser there. So when you click on view in browser, allow it to load. Your system becomes a local server. It becomes itself. Now you see two things or three things.
Yeah.
It's showing you the title, the header. If you look at it, you'll notice that the header has its text darker and its fonts bolder than other ones. So when you're looking at this, you can tell, okay, this is the title of the document or of the site. This is explaining all the things in the title. And if you look at it again, you will notice that we have two paragraphs.
Yeah.
The first paragraph, of course, is very short, but you know how you type in Microsoft Word, and you have different types of paragraphing. The indentation, where you just move a couple of steps inside and start typing, and then there is the one line spacing. That's after in block. It's called block paragraphing.
Yeah.
Mostly you would be seeing more block paragraphing and styles. That's after the first paragraph, you see one space. That so once you use the P tag organizes it that way for you. After the first P tag, if you add another P tag, it will give one line below for the P tag so that you can differentiate. Now, if we had a very long paragraph for the first one, which if you go to the internet and copy any text or any article, paste it here, you will see how long it will look. And you will notice that they will just be as though you typed with Microsoft, and it is readable over HTTP. It's accessible over HTTP, and then you can. So we've done something today. We've created a header. We've put in a header text using the H1, H2, as in this case, element. We've done a P tag, and we've been able to type about 2 paragraphs explaining what we have done. The first P tag told us that the header element tells the crawler what is in its content, and we decided to include the next P tag that is just going to give us a glimpse how it looks like if we added the next P tag and how the article would look like. Don't worry, we'll come to the article element and you're going to write an article. Yes. So all these things are important. We are using it to head towards the article, because when I am done, I'll give you an assignment.
Okay, because that's what I want to. I want to learn from this.
Okay.
This software particular, as in, because most of the times, as in, do you have some steps? As in, do you have some listening and some written notes? As in, maybe if you tell me to go to SolutionNet and
Solution Explorer,
then we hit on this, and we do this, and we do this in order to do this.
do I have a book written on that? That's why I'm making a video for you in this class. But I'll also give you a PDF on that. That would be, just remind me, I'll give you a book on that. That will say go to Solution Explorer, right click, do this, do that. Okay, don't worry, we'll get there. Let's get to understand HTML5 first and understand CSS. Because if I give you that one, this class, I plan to finish this in 2 classes. This whole thing, and then we'll enter. Because once I get there, it's serious business. And when I say go to Solution Explorer, I don't expect you now to be asking me where's Solution Explorer.
Yeah, because what I'm trying to say is because all this thing they're telling me now, maybe as in, about the codes.
Yeah.
Please, as in, I can't forget them, but click on this place, click on this place.
I have it. This class is being recorded. I will give you the video. Okay? I'll give you the video for the class. It's being recorded. So calm down. So the next thing that we are going to see is the footer.
Yeah.
That's in page 15 of the same PDF.
Yeah.
But then if you look at the beginning of page 15, it will show you how what you have typed will look like. Importance of header elements, what you should see when you view in a browser, which of course, if you got something different from this, you will know that you did something wrong.
Yeah.
But if you look at what we got, you see that it's exactly except that we added a second P tag, which gave us a second paragraph. Okay, so the footer document is used to denote things like author's name, contact information, and copyright patents, to mention a few. When you finish, there are some sites you'll go to, you'll see designed by AB Tech, designed by AfriHub, designed by CardRights, designed by AppTech, or developed and designed by AppTech. You don't put that anywhere, you don't put it in the header. You do those commenting on the footer. So the footer, and that's where you also see copyright. It's important to copyright your site so that if somebody clones it and starts using it to make money, you can sue the person and try to get some money from it.
But if you just relink it there,
It's not being linked. It's you just type it in. You see an example of that.
What I'm trying to say, as in, is there any way that you're going to boost that, or just to write it and link it? But
You just write you write the footer into the code.
okay, yeah,
Do you understand?
yeah,
There's a footer tag.
yeah. I understand what I'm saying now because
Yeah.
I was even thinking maybe there is a way, maybe you will register for that.
The copyright.
Copyright.
No, you don't really need to register. You can do your offline registration within your country. You patent your site or your business name.
Yeah,
That's what it means to copyright a content.
yeah,
So you go get a patent for the business. So that no, it's not when the business starts booming now, one boy like that from somewhere will come and carry your name and be doing something, and then they will think it is you when it is not you.
yeah,
That's why you have business name registration, and then in Nigeria,
yeah.
they ask you if you have a CAC certificate and all. It's all about patenting your idea as an entrepreneur, so that nobody will come and use your intellectual property or your physical property or your business name and brand
Yeah.
outside your company um, without getting the right to do so. So if somebody must use it, the person must have a right to copy your content. So the footer tag is basically much the same thing. If you look at this, you will notice they had a new web form that had doc type, right? And had HTML, body, header, and all of that. But we are not going to create. Okay, let's create a new form and call it footer. All right. So we had a first form called default, which had our header example. So we are going to create a new form and call it footer, which will have our footer example in it. So we'll come back here and copy from header to footer close. Yes, header open to footer close. If you copy that and come to the Visual Studio, go to Solution Explorer, click on the website as we have done before, click on add new item, and select the web form and change the name to footer. But don't touch the .axps.
If I go there, click to internet.
Go to Solution Explorer, click on the browser, click on the site name. No, you are not right clicking. You are not right clicking. This is the site, so add new web form, change the name to default. Change the name to footer. But don't touch the .axps. If you delete all of them, you must add .axps after you finish typing footer.
Okay.
Because
maybe even if you have put the duration, you must end it with this.
yes. When you're adding a new web form,
Yeah.
it just tells the language what you're learning here is spx.net. So it just tells us the extension, the app extension. So here I have footer.aspx, and then I'll click on add. If I click on add, of course, in between the div tags now, just like we did the other one,
Yeah.
I'll paste what we have collected. I'm going to highlight this and right click and then say format section. Okay, I'll copy what we have highlighted, and then it's telling us here importance of footer elements. That's the H1. So it means when we go to the browser, just like we saw the other one, importance of header tag, we are going to see this one also like that. So when you want to create a title, you now know how to create a title. When you want to create a paragraph after a title, you now know how to get a paragraph after a title. All right. So save all, go back to Solution Explorer, click on footer, right click on it and view in browser. it will open in the same browser but on a different tab. You would see there all the other information. It will give you the copyright details and the publisher's details, copyright by pact. And when you click on those links there, it will take you to their site. Okay, there is no error in the code. You copied the header, correct. This is the footer, correct. Edit here, correct. This is the header, which had the H2 and then HR. This is used to rule the line. Yes, that's horizontal rule. You have the beta, which is like the one we have here. And then the new tag that you were introduced to now is the footer, which contains this. Now, why there is a break when you view it is because of this BR. It says let this one be in one line. Let this BR is a break. Break it. Put this one in another line. And all of that. So if you save all, you come to Solution Explorer. This is the footer. You right click on it and view in browser. And it is low. Interesting. Which browser are we using? See it here now. So you go to the browser, talking about it. So it's showing you what I also have here, which is so we've seen what the footer tag is used for.
But I want to ask you something. Let's assume that if I go to this line,
yeah.
Then if I go to this design, can I change it then to contain that blue color as of that and ASP.net?
Let's not go there yet. You understand what we are doing? Don't go there yet. You can always change all those things. We've not started formatting. We've not started CSS.
Yeah.
We're just looking at HTML. So I've introduced you to the header tag.
Yeah.
I've introduced you to the head, the body.
Yeah.
I've introduced you to div because we had div in the middle where we are pasting stuff, which I told you div is just I was talking to you about it here.
Yeah.
And if you have done your HTML assignments, you will know what div is actually used for. It's just we use it to create a box. A divide. That means you've not done your HTML assignment. That's why I asked you to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so I did say just like I have tried to read that div several times. Likewise to that link actually
the div creates. This is a div. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It creates this box. Then you will now come on. We'll get introduced. I'll introduce you. We'll go deeper into div. You understand how to style it and what you use it to. Okay. So, but you've seen the header and the footer.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's return back to our PDF. You will see that they gave us a sample of what these things should look like when we view in a browser. So the next element we are going to be seeing is a nav element. The nav element is an important part of HTML5 and it is used extensively for navigation purpose. So when you want to navigate from one site to another, from one web form to another, or even from one site to another, you use the nav tag. It has the same function with the A tag. Do you know what the A tag is?
A tag for linking.
Okay. So here, for example, the footer element has linked to varied content, and the nav tag is not mandatory for these links. The nav element is used when there is a group of navigation link contained in a specific section of the page. So you don't just use it individually. You have plenty nav, plenty nav, plenty nav. When you have a group of navigation elements, when you have plenty A tags listed out, if you go down the code, you see an example of the code snippets that we've been given. That's in page 16 and 17. You'll see this is why I asked you to do the assignment on HTML. Today is Monday. You had all the weekend. Now you are seeing the header tag, which we've talked about. You're seeing the footer tag, the paragraph tag. You are seeing the nav tag starting. After the nav tag, you are seeing a UL, meaning
Okay, as in URL as in HTTP.
no, the UL. You are seeing a UL. That's the first thing you are seeing in page. On ordered lists. Yes, you're seeing on ordered lists, and after an unordered list, the next thing you're seeing is the LI, which means list item. List item. So unordered list starts. You can't just have a list item. You have ordered lists or unordered lists, then you start listing what will be inside it. Okay. So the list item came out, and then now we are combining everything together. See, they had the header, the nav tag, and the footer in this example. So we would get as usual, copy from header to the end, but don't copy body. And then go to Visual Studio, create a new web form, and call it nav.aspx. Come in between the div and paste what you have. Already down the page, you'll be seeing an example of what you should get if you viewed the site in a browser. So if you copy that correctly, you see how it looks. It gave you after you saw the unordered list, you are seeing the list item, and then you're now seeing a link holding the list item. So it means when you click on packed publishing, it takes you to www.packedpub.com. When you click on books on Ajax, it takes you to packedpub.com/books/Ajax. Latest article, it takes you to the latest article page. Packed online library, it takes you to the online library. And
okay, you said I should call this one for
nav.aspx. I have already saved my own, and I am going to view in a browser. So we have 3 tabs open in our browser now, and you would see that it contained 1, the header, 2, the list, the paragraph tag. Now I'm looking at my web browser, and I'm not seeing the code behind, but I can tell you what I'm seeing. So when you're looking at a site now, your idea is not this site is fine or what's in this site. You are seeing the code. Have you seen it? Okay. Can you see it in the browser? Have you done the view in browser? Remember, you have to go to your browser to check. No. You see it there. Yes. So you go to the browser. Go to there, and let's see, is it out? Yes. It is out. So when you are looking at this, what are you seeing? Now you did not copy something. What is missing? The header is missing. Yes. This is your close to compare. If what I'm saying is true, the header is there. You only copy the header close tag, and Visual Studio is telling you, hey, there is something wrong. Anyway, it's not all the hey, there is something wrong with there, it's really something wrong. And there is something wrong everywhere because this tag doesn't have a close. This one only stops here, there is no close date tags. So you copied wrongly. And what you are going to do is that you have to come back here and get this guy. Then do this. Subject to and 17. So we have enough tag with the UL stats. And then after the UL we have enough tag closing. Now we missed something. So let me get exactly what she means. After and this is that here. We do and this is just the I don't need to get the I'll come here and then this and it's also correct for us. So it's come out to So when you're looking at the site, you're seeing things. What are you seeing? Now, I'm looking at this. I just have to look at my code small detail. This is header. This is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. This is a list item versus concorder. If it is concorder, you see 1, 2, 3, you see 1. So when it is concorder, you're seeing dots, dots, dots. Concorder list. Hey, it's not just an concorder list. It has links embedded in it. So if I click on it, that's supposed to take me somewhere. So after seeing this, I'm seeing something else. I'm seeing contact us and about us. And noticing that there is a space, that means it's not part of this item. This is a footer. And then in the footer, they are telling us about them and we are telling us. So looking at the site, I'm already seeing what the code looks like.
So what does it say as that tag name? How am I going to
use it?
I have seen the header, I have seen the paragraphs, I have seen the handle.
I can now tell you that since this is a group of links, it was housed with a nav tag. Do you see that? Let's go see. So since it is a group of links, this is yes. So it was housed with. It was housed inside a nav tag. If it was just a link alone, I would say okay, the link is just there.
Yeah.
But when it is plenty together, I can use a nav tag to hold them. You've grabbed.
Yeah.
Don't worry. At the end of the class, you also get a video. So let's head back to the PDF. And the next thing is the article tag. At this point, after the article tag, that is your assignment. So your assignment will include all these things to where we are going to stop today.
Yeah.
Your article will contain a header. Your article will contain a paragraph.
Yeah.
Your article will have a footer. Your article will have list items. Your article will have nav, and your article will have the article tag.
Article tag.
You are going to be introduced to the article tag right now in the next page. So you will know how to use the article tag. And you are going to be introduced to section 2. You know how articles are now. You have section.
Yeah.
That's how we format things on this internet too. We don't just write things anyhow.
Yeah.
Everything you see on the web form has a precept.
Yeah.
Okay. The article, we often come across standalone content on a web page. What is an example of a standalone content they are referring to here? You are thinking of blogs, all those news websites. This is how those contents are organized using the article tag, and then the news content drops and all of that. There are blogs, I just talked about it now.
Yeah.
Blog entries, there are blog entries, form posts, user comments, to mention a few. The article element is used for this kind of data where the content is independent of the surrounding. It is good. It is a good practice to include header, footer, heading within the article tag. We can also see the section elements between the article tag. So here, of course, we are going to get um, from article open to article close, and we are going to do some other modifications in the code when we get it. So I'll use this as my own classwork, and then you write your own article. This is my own article in the class, so I'm writing my own now. And if you noticed, in this class, you are not typing the code. I'm just telling you to copy because there is a PDF for you to copy from. In your assignments, please type. Do you know why? So that you get used to typing. Alright, so for me, I have already gotten used to some of those. So create a new web form, call it article. Article.aspx. When you create it, in between the div tag, paste what you have copied from article to article end. Please copy correctly and format section if you need to do that. And of course, you see article, you see H1, you see section, you see H2, you see break, section close, another section begun, dried fruit. You see all of that. Okay, now let's save it and view it in a browser. And then you see how it looks like. It looks exactly like an article. Then we'll start doing our modification on the article. You go to the browser. You use this and the same form. Go back to your slides. Go back to the form. Go back to yes. Go back to your code. Now I said create a new page. Call this article. You use it for the last time. Do you understand what has happened? Come back to your browser. These things follow the order in which you use them. Now, after the whole of this, your article is done because you didn't create a new web form, like I said, and you pasted it here. But it still gave us the structure which we needed. The title, subtitle, stuff.
And it's even looking as if you house it in an A tab because it's showing that it is a link. Do you see that? Once this can be and it's showing that it is in an A tab or something. But then I want you to do the correct thing. So copy this out of here and create a new form, call it article, then paste it in that new form called article. We have reasons for which I'm telling you to do that. Cut it out of there. Create a new form, call it article, paste in article. If you've done that, you let me know. Okay. Then we'll continue. Okay. So, are you on the browser right now? Yeah.
Is it looking like an article?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's come back to our code, and then after the article tag, let's add a header tag under it.
Okay.
And then copy the h1 and put it inside, cut the h1 and put it inside the header tag. Be sure you're doing the right thing.
No. After the article, I don't say after the article close tag. See, after the article, this is what you don't compare it. If you listen to me, if I say after the div, I didn't say after the div close tag. When I say after the body, I didn't say after the body close tag. When I want you to do it here, I'll tell you I'm talking about the close tag. Alright? So after the article tag, which is this, the open tag, as I'm referring to. So just cut this Control X. You get it here. So you did not highlight it. And then after this, no. That's the rest. After the article enter. This is you get used to using keyboard shortcuts. It's faster. Copy this one. Yes, copy this one. You didn't copy all. Yes. Control X. No, Control X. Okay. Put it inside the tab. Like something like Control Z always undo. So this is what I do.
So now you're with me. And then after the section tag, after the H2 tag, you're seeing the H2.
Yeah.
That's after the H2 close tag because they are together, right? H1 opened and H2 is there.
Yeah.
So after the close tag, put your cursor there, hit enter, and then you put a paragraph tag, a P tag. When you put the P tag, copy everything from citrus fruits are good to your health. Break. Oranges and sweet. Lime are examples of citrus fruit. Break. They contain vitamin C, which is good for cold and cough. After the full stop, cut everything, put it inside the P tag. So the article you are going to write must have these arrangements that I'm doing now. So that's the first P tag inside that section.
And you said after the end is the closure of this page.
Use that one there, but leave that one. We are also going to use this. The citrus fruits. Something is missing here. This is not all there is. It's talking about kind of citrus fruits. Alright. Do the same thing. Yes. And cut it and paste inside the other P tag you created. So if I've done that, I'll come to the second H2, dried fruits, hit enter, and then create a second p tag. We've already done this. The second p tag. I'll copy from there to there, cut rather from there to there, and paste. So now we have with the first paragraph inside the first section, and the first paragraph inside the second section. Okay. So after the first, I'm in the first section now. The first section has the title citrus fruit, and then we have the first paragraph, right? After the close tag of the first paragraph, put your cursor there and hit enter.
After the first part.
In the first section, after the close tag of the first paragraph, put your cursor and hit enter. Your cursor should be blinking, and the next thing should be the section close tag. Right? Okay. Create another p tag and type other paragraph for this title. Other paragraph for this title can come in here. And more paragraphs can be used. More paragraph tags in bracket p tag can be used.
And more paragraphs can be used.
And more paragraphs in bracket p tag can be used to hold other. After order, you put a break. Paragraphs related to this section.
Okay, this is the section I said after anywhere. So in between there, no?
Okay, so save and then refresh your browser.
You put this thing, you put an ending business trip.
Where? For the break. Yes, it will always end it immediately. Once you have a BR, that slash comes in. Because there is nothing coming inside it. It doesn't have a content. You can do a B and a B slash. But what are you putting inside break? Do you understand? You don't have any content that is supposed to be inside break. Just like the way you have HR. Once you have HR, the next thing is the slash. Because in the line you are ruling, are you putting anything inside the line? There is nothing you're putting there. So if you look at the content that we just typed, you will notice that the content will always break where you asked it to break. If you didn't ask it to break, it will start from here and end here. So it did the break where we asked it to break. And it showed us 2 paragraphs in the first section. If you look at our fruits, you notice that it is not underlined, fruit facts. So if we want it underlined, after the fruit facts element, we can put HR, which I'm doing right now. There. You
mean the as in the H2 fruits?
Fruits. The the H1 fruit facts. Let's do that in the H1 fruit facts, not in the H2.
Behind the
After
okay,
the HR, after the H1 tag. So let me see if you are going to do that correctly.
Yeah.
You should see that your fruit facts is being ruled, and other things.
Okay.
Did you do that successfully? Really, brother. See, refresh the button. Let's see what you have done is correct. It's what you have correct. Go to the left. Go to that other form. Look at all these other forms that had H1. You can start from there. Click on that one. Default. Go to default. See where the H1 is. HR. After the H2. After the H2, see where they put the HR. Okay. Now go to the article. Article is see the tab up. Yes. Now go to your own page. One. It's in your H1 that you visit. So did you say you put your own page back? And did you see why it's not working? So you have no way to control. Alright, so save and then view in browser. So you notice that your citrus fruit has been underlined.
Yeah.
Now, if you go back to the Visual Studio app and you go to the footer,
Yeah.
now look at that code because you're going to type it, not copy.
Okay.
You type the one I would want you to type. So look at how they have their footer is. Do you see how their footer is? Where it started and where it ended.
Is it from, I repeat it from the header?
No, I'm telling you to just look at it.
Yeah.
Don't copy anything. Don't click on anything. Just go to that footer tag that we have done in a footer form. Are you there? The footer form is no longer open, so double click on it. Double click. So I'm telling you to move from here. Just look at this.
Yeah.
Everything here. You see the arrangement. So go to our article. You can change web forms from on top. Stop going to Solution Explorer. You see it's open. Article.aspx on top. Top right. Just click on it, it will take you there. After the article tag, that's the article close tag.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
Hit enter. I'm hearing mouse click.
Yeah. No, I just
When I'm supposed to be hearing enter.
Yeah.
If you hit enter, you open the footer tag, type it footer. It will close it immediately for you. And once it closes it for you, hit enter.
Then I'm in the footer now. But listen.
No, I didn't say you should go to the footer tab. I said you are in the article tab.
Yeah.
After the article close tag in the what we are doing now,
Yeah.
hit enter,
Yeah.
type footer by yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
When you close the open tag, the close tag is supposed to appear, right?
Yeah.
Hit enter.
then hit enter again. So that you have the space.
Alright. So inside that space, open a p tag.
Yeah.
And inside the p tag, write this article was written, or is it was? Yes, was written by your name. So my name is Chris. Chris is here. And then outside the p tag, how should we do it? Okay, yet still inside the p tag was written by your name. Open inside, yet inside that, after your name, open a tag. That it will be housed inside the p. And then write
We are about to see the reference. Okay, wait. You are getting it. You open the A tag, but I'm not going to type reference. So, yeah. So I'm expected to see this first. Then you come back here and now type. I want you to see that visual screen.
Alright, you now type href equals www dot, okay, maybe you should add https colon slash.
Is it? I think we're supposed to put here
quotes, yes, after equal to double quotes. My own used to appear automatically, so I forgot to tell you. So equal to double quotes facebook.com. Do you have a Facebook handle? https colon slash https colon slash www.facebook.com / your Facebook username. Mine is cnes / your Facebook username, and then you come outside the quotation, come outside the brace bracket, and write copyright. Column, your name again. And the year 2019. I have saved mine, so let me be sure you write it.
Alright, your name in 2019. Alright, what is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong? HTTPS. We didn't close this quotation yet.
Sorry, yeah.
You like mouse? Right?
Stop liking mouse. You only use mouse when it is necessary. Now save and refresh the browser. You will notice that our footer will appear.
Yes.
Okay, so the article you are going to write for me will take this format. Write the article on any topic of your choice, or a blog on any topic of your choice. It will have about 4 sections. each of the sections should not have less than 3 paragraphs. And of course, in each of the section there should be a title for the section, that's the H2.
Yeah.
Then you should not have less than 3 paragraphs, and then close with your footer and then the remark, like I just did.
The remark.
What I mean the remark, that's this title was written by Christopher, copyright Christopher 2019 or Chris 2019. So this is the article tag. This is what it looks like. This is what I expect from your article assignment, and I am yet still going to show you some other things that will be included in your article. Those things, or the thing rather now, is the aside tag. You know, there is that moment when you see a news and then, or an article, you see a quotation somewhere that is written in italics.
Yeah.
Okay, now we are going to reference it. So go back to the PDF. We're not going to use everything from the aside tag that they have there. We're just going to pick the aside and then we'll touch it. In page 19, aside. Content in an aside element is slightly related to the content outside it. It can be used within an article element in case where the content is related to the content in the article element. Though the content in the aside element is standalone by nature, it can improve additional information about the content around it. Look at the example. Go down to the next page. You see, after the last section they had something called aside. That's in page 20 now.
The output of the code upon execution.
We are before the output of the code upon execution. On top of it, you see aside.
Yeah.
Just on top of it, you are seeing HTML close tag, you are seeing body close tag, you are seeing article close tag. The next thing you are going to see is aside close tag.
Yeah.
Now copy from aside open tag to aside close tag. That's the aside they are talking about. We already have all the other ones.
Yeah.
We already have all the other ones. So the aside close tag after the last section, after the last section close tag, before the article close tag, in your article form. Your article form where you did your footer. Before the article close tag and after the section close tag. Do you know where I'm referring to?
Yeah. For that aside.
Yes, for the aside. That's where I want you to paste it. You can actually be anywhere.
I should copy this code.
This code, not everything here. See what you should get this is the aside you're talking about. All those long stories you're talking about this message. And then you come here before the article close down. That's after this, before this. And then paste it.
So you are seeing something aside. And inside the aside tag, you have a paragraph. Inside the paragraph, you have an EM tag. Yes, emphasize. That emphasize, that EM, is what makes it italics. So now the article is complete. Yes, you can save and refresh in a browser. You see that it is part of the story, but it's not really part of the story. it's today alone, is saying something related to what is in the content, and it is on emphasis. So citrus grown organically are in vogue as of now, or what Nigerians call they are in vogue. So that is the aside tag. So I expect you can use the aside tag anywhere. But this time around, I just felt we should put it under. You can use it inside the order. You can use it inside, in between the contents, before the next p tag. Just like we have two p tags in the first. After that other p tag, before we had the second p tag, you can put an aside there. Is your wish. So your article, the article you are going to write, will have each of these elements that we've used in this article represented and used. So I don't know the topic you are going to use to write the article, or the topic you are going to choose to write the article on. Whatever topic it is, choose wisely and make sure it can give you something that has up to four sections. I want us to finish chapter 2 today. Are you tired, or is your head full?
No, okay.
Yeah, okay. So the next thing that we'll be looking at is microdata. And after microdata, we'll be done for today, and we'll start the div class on Wednesday. So microdata, what comes to your mind when you hear microdata? What is it used for? Let's find out. HTML 4.0 has the PDF. HTML 4.0 has a certain set of fixed elements. For example, we have the P and the H1 element for a specific purpose. However, the HTML5, we have the option of custom attributes. Suppose we have to define a person in HTML. So we want to define you. Head, black, eyes, orange, skin, black, clothes type, kaftan. Suppose we want to define you. We don't have an element for that. We can not have elements for each and everything in HTML. This can be resolved by using the custom property embedded in the document. And then if you come down, you see we can now use our own vocabulary in HTML5 and microdata. In HTML5, and microdata is used for that purpose. In microdata, we use name, value pair. We will now have a look at the global attributes used in HTML5 to define custom properties. Item scope, item type, item ID, item property, and item reference. Item scope. This attribute is used to notify the microdata that microdata is being used in a web page. We create an item by using item scope. Item type. This attribute is a URL to define the item. Item ID, the microdata is used to identify an item. Item property, this attribute is used to define a property of an element. Microdata consists of name, value pair, and the value of the property is defined here. Item ref, this attribute is used to define the content in a web page. We will now take a look at them. So here, create. It is what we have used before. You are seeing section. If you go down the code, after the body, you are seeing section, you are seeing H1, you are seeing the P tag. It's now inside the P tag that they are referencing all these things. They are using the item prop, they are using the item property to describe what they have here. If you look at the section, you are seeing item scope and item type that gave us the website. So just copy from section open to section close. You can practice this at home. Please do practice at home. That's the key. But when you're practicing at home, try to type and not to copy, so that you get used to the codes. I am only doing this because we need to finish this part as fast as possible. So go to Solution Explorer, create a new web form, and call it microdata.aspx. Add it, and in between the div tag, paste the section that you have copied. Section open to section close. That is what you are supposed to copy. Section open to section. Yeah?
Okay, microdata.
Yes. That's the name of the form. So this looks like an address. So where are you seeing this being used? Is there any place in a website that you're seeing it being used?
List.
No, it's not in list. Where you will see it mostly is in contact us.
Yeah.
You see that form, and then you now see address, email, phone number.
Yeah.
You grab after the contact us form. So this is the elements they use to achieve that thing on that section.
Yeah.
So this one is telling you name, Packets Publishing Limited, street address, so and so, street name, so and so, pin code, so and so, country, so and so, contact information, so and so. So it's telling you how we achieved that part of the contact us page, where after a form that says name, subject, message, and send. And then by the other side, you now see contact information, phone number, name of company, address, phone number, and all those.
Okay, by using this tag.
Yes. Item prop item. It's called microdata. By using all of those things, it's called micro. You can't use nav there because you're not linking to. You don't have plenty links in a group.
But you can use nav.
You can use li. That's if you're using list, you can use list.
Yeah.
If you're using list, you will still have the same thing.
Yeah.
But if you want to use microdata, then you must include in that li item scope, item property, item type, and all of those things that you've seen here.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Inside that now we have it inside p tag.
We have it inside section.
We have it inside section. So that means we'll have section first, and then have item scope, item type with the URL.
Yeah.
Then we now have UL first before LI will now start.
Yeah.
That's ordered list before LI will now start. And then in the first LI, we'll now have before the UL, we'll have the H1.
Yeah.
And then in the first LI, after the UL, we'll now have property type street name.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yes. So we can also use that. You can try it try it at home and then show me.
Yeah.
Alright, so you can save this and view in a browser. If you save this and view it in a browser, you'll be seeing it's listed just exactly like the way it would appear on a contact us page. Okay, so doesn't that go to the browser, Firefox. It's not there yet. Go back to the site. Go back to the app.
right click. You see the reference. And then go back to the browser. It should be there. So it gives you this.
Okay, if you have that achieved, so you have two assignments now. Try it with LI and then write an article. We have come to the end of this class today, and I am ending this video. So thank you so much. See you in the next class. First, any other question before I end the video?
Last time we want to do that, so like this thing. Maybe you guys any other problem maybe for the previous
Yeah. So, okay.